Hi, this is B from Sorcery Soap, and I wanted to show you some things I've worked on over the years. This is, of course, not everything, but starting with, I saved these little bunnies. Didn't really care for how they looked with their big floppy ears for some reason. They're okay, but I have drawers and drawers of this, and I thought you might want to take a look. These are from a mold I made, but they were pretty tricky to get out of the mold. And they're supposed to be cookie cutters, but I didn't think it really conveyed the story very well. There's just tons of stuff. These are little cookies, little soap cookies that I put on top of a soap. Here's some, oh gosh, let's see, baby little strawberries I made. I could barely hold that, so it was like kind of tricky to make those. Pumpkins and strawberry shortcake. I did a video on these little guys and how to make the cardinals and the blue jays. These are some stylized ravens that I really like to make. I like how slick and smooth they are because they wear really nice in the shower. These are little hatched chickies, the little baby chicks that I made for a soap that I called Hatched. Here's a little, his ears I thought were a little too big, so he didn't make the cut. But he has a little, let's see, what is that? Oh, that's a little patch. Oops, that's a little bit too close. A little patch on his butt. And some spoons. These are from a mold. I didn't hand mold those, but I did hand mold these. And I'll tell you, candy canes are tricky. And there's little fairy doors and molded mermaid tails, and it's supposed to look like soap or cookie dough. And there, I don't know, I care for that. It doesn't communicate as effectively as I wanted it to, so that's okay. But some seals. There's a little white guinea pig I did. Didn't care for him. I like the guinea pigs that look like guinea pigs. Anyway, I'll try to move through this. There's, you saw, I think you know, if you've been following Sorcery Soap, you saw the little bears. And these guys. Yeah. And then there's a little chick. I keep reworking those chicks. I like him. They take a lot of time, and I tried to scale them down. And maybe I'll sit and do those today, because I'm looking for ideas to make new stuff. Here's some candy corns out of soap. This is all soap dough, by the way, if you're just new to this. This is all cold processed soap. Sometimes I harbor little things like this, so in case I'm making a soap or a fragrance oil strikes me, I go, oh, I have those little hearts. And I usually make extras because sometimes I'll test this cold process soap when I'm putting the embellishment on, and it drops down into the soap, and then I have to wash it off. So I save that back for myself, and so I try to have an extra one just in case there's a fail in some capacity. But this was from a tomato soap I made. And it smelled like tomato leaf and coriander, and it really was nice, and it's all gone. And then these guys, I saved back the unpainted ones for myself. Wait, this one did have, I could see this one had paint on it. I washed it off. It must have dropped in. And let's see what else is in here. Oh, an actual shell, which you don't need to see, and a screw. And then I tried to do some match heads for a while. I thought maybe I'd do a little flea circus. Still might do that, don't know. Here's some rudimentary wasps. I call them wasps because I want them to look like bees, but they don't. They look like wasps. And let's see. Oh, there's just tons of stuff in here. I'll go through it a little bit more quickly. See, these are the candy canes. I made a crud ton of those. I sat for days and made these. Those are on the mistletoe bunny soap that I have online right now, but Yeah, those are tricky. And you think that they're not, but they really are tricky. So I had a couple extra saved over. I like the pale ones and the sharper, distinct ones. And then, well, there's those, and I got some stars in here, and there's a Snoopy with a Woodstock. Oh, I got a lot of grief about the Snoopy and the Woodstock. Trust me, I did not offer that for capital. There's no trade. There's nothing. There's no trade, nothing. No trade for money, no trade for goods. I just made them just to see if I could. That was an interesting process. So here's these little tomato guys. They're okay. They're okay. And then these guys I might sit and make. These are much more complicated. These little sitting unicorns. And the funny thing about it is that if I make any of these things with, like, I don't have the right mindset, they kind of reflect that. It's sort of like, I don't know about you all, but some days my handwriting is awesome. And other days my handwriting stinks and I can't quite figure out what it is. I used to think it was because I was tired. These are little cabbages. That goes with my guinea pig soaps. This is actual polymer clay. I practiced with that a little bit. I have a tutorial on these guys. These are very fun to make and easy to make. Well, I think easy, but and then these guys a little bit more complicated. And I have candy corn, colorful candy corn. These are little carrots, because in the springtime I make bunny soaps, and he's in a whole bunch of carrots. And these are some of my favorite. I haven't made the little foxes in a while. I really like those. And this is all from my steampunk. You can see that. Leftovers. See, even this guy. I saved that to remind me of the Sugar Plum Fairy soap. This isn't as nice as the one I offered, but I made, this is a caning process that I'm not very good at, but some people are really good at caning soap dough. And what you do is roll out a cane of like the green color, and then you wrap, or however other people do it. I wrap the red around it and then the white around it, and then I shaped the whole cane and dropped it inside the cold process soap, the whole batch of it. So when you slice it, each bar has this embed inside of it. So it makes you push your mind a little bit to think about horizontal. So here, let me move over here. To think about planes of viewing. So there's a little bat. Oops, sorry. He's not a very nice bat. He's a little bit better. See how bubbly he is? How, like, that's what I think is not very good work, in my opinion. But I'm pretty sure the Addams family would be perfectly fine with that bat. And there's a little skull. These are all hand molded. I didn't even have any silicone molds to push these into when I started making these. This was one of my first elaborate soaps. I made the book, the bell, and the candle soap, and I used, I made this, and I stuck them, like, I piped it, and I don't usually pipe soaps because I suck at piping. That's how I started working with soap dough, because I stink so bad at piping. Anyway, so you can see how rudimentary it is, but I laid it on top, and I thought it was so clever, and I was so pleased with it, and this little thing got me some grief. That's just the phases of the moon. I thought it looked like a book of shadows, book of light and shadows. And that got me a lot of grief. So, and I made these guys for Halloween. A little Halloween scene. Oh, look at this. You can see, I think it's even dusty. It is very rudimentary. But I was really trying to convey my story. So, and here's some more stuff. Okay, so made these for royalty soaps for Katie Carson's Sherlock Holmes. And I have some pipes around here somewhere. Let's see, where did I do with those pipes? Anyway, I have some pipes that go along with this, and I made her some books. That was a fun project. And I was practicing with my polymer clay, not actual soap dough, but all the rest of this, most of the rest of this, like 98% or so is soap dough. I tried making a little gingerbread house. That's all soap dough, not piping, by the way. I stink at piping. I made that like 2 years ago. And it's still together, so that's good practice. Little practice mice. A lot of these are just practice to keep remind me of what, you know, what I did. And so you can see all these swans discolored. Oh gosh, and there's like dust and hair. I can never use them, but you know, I made a whole bunch of them, the swans, and they were really tricky. These were one of my very first things right after my chicken soap. But for some reason, I really liked them, but they didn't really go over very well. Maybe because they're too sticky up or something. But I was so pleased with them and the fact that I could duplicate them. So you can see I tried to duplicate them. They're all beat up now because they've been sitting in the drawer. I'll never use them, but they're a good reminder. And then, let's see, you could just see all these. I did a little ram. Oh, he just fell apart. I did a little ram. This guy's not going to fall apart. Look at, he's all mushed together. Not so pleased with that. This was one of my first teddy bears I did. He's all right. I like his style. I think he's got a cool style. And then, not a very good guinea pig. Let's see. This guy's falling apart. Sometimes that happens when I make more complex stuff. They just, like, after a while they fall apart. I prefer that people use everything that I send them. But see, look at these guys. These guys are all intact. I did much better with these. Oop, until I drop it. But there. I have these on my website now, mistletoe bunnies. And then this is what I make for spring, the little carrots. Here's a white one. Yep, and these are all the books I made. Someday I'll use them or not. Grapefruit and hatches and stuff. Just loads and loads of stuff. Drawers and drawers of stuff. These guys I thought maybe someday I would make too. I called him Cupcake the Horse. I don't know why. And then of course these guys. And make a couple different styles of those guys. This is a much bigger guy. And then getting ready for the holidays, maybe I'll make some more reindeers. These guys held up really well. I've had these for about 2 or 3 years. And I have some buttons that I made extras of. And there's a little sewing needle with soap dough thread around it. And then these I saved. House Lannister. And this is the raven for that, three-eyed raven. I was pretty pleased with that guy. I thought I conveyed it pretty well. And that's for Stark. I'm in the last book right now. Oh, look here. A little piece of cheese, a little baby cheese. Yep. I was sitting to do these, and what I was saying before is, like, if I'm not in the right space, like, what I'm creating just is like tedium, and it doesn't convey nicely. So sometimes I'll get the urge to do this, like to make stuff. Yeah, this guy's a little beat up. This guy's a little beat up, but his shape is good, and that's why I saved him, so I could model him after that. Because those are all hand molded and those take quite a lot of time. I was going to make that for Christmas, but I think I'm running out of time. October, November, December. Yeah, I'm kind of running out of time. Because if I sit down and make these, it takes me a week to make all these just for 10 or 20 bars. And then the curing time will be cutting it close. So maybe I'll just make, I made a soap called Horse Apples once with a horse and an apple. I don't think I have any apples here. Let's see. And that was okay. Oh yeah, here's an apple. Yep, little tiny apple, even with a stem in it. So, oh, this guy. I forgot about this guy. I was looking for him the other day in my pictures. I love this guy, and I'm so pleased he stayed together. You know why things don't stay together is because I was too delicate with attaching soap together, and I didn't use enough water and was patient enough in between each process, like, you know, making sure that it sticks and letting it cure. So that was all my newness. Look at these. These are melt and pour, and they look terrible. Look at, there's fuzz on them. I'm going to throw those out right now. They look terrible. Who cares? I'm not going to keep all those. Oh, yeah, there's all types of fuzz in here. See, I made these. These are chocolate covered cherries with melt. That's why I made those other things that I'm going to throw out. They have melt and pour centers, but this is cold processed soap dough on the outside. So I got this fragrance oil called chocolate covered cherry. Don't remember where I got it from. Didn't read the instructions on it. It's not meant for cold process, but I used it anyway. It's really potent, by the way. And it turns out, as soon as I posted it, somebody called me on it, and I went, whoops. So I had to throw it all out. I used 1 bar of it. It was okay, but it was like pungent. It was like so potent, so strong, chocolate-covered cherry. I couldn't even tolerate it in the shower, so it doesn't matter. Make mistakes and just carry on. There, sunflowers. I made those one year. Hey, you can hear that bird. That might be the evil woodpecker bird. He's awesome. He has yellow eyes. Anyway, I could go on, and I'm not gonna, but here I just wanted to show you all the things. See, you can see each one of those is packed full. And this is not like, here's more. This isn't even everything. I threw away tons of stuff, sold it, got rid of it, whatever, gave it. This is just the stuff that I use to remind myself of stuff that I might want to make in the future. That guy, he glows in the dark, by the way. That will be ready in a couple weeks. And then I made this along with these. And I thought I'd make this someday. Little bluebirds. Put it with the house. Yeah. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, this guy. I painted that. That mica is outstanding. That red mica. And a little present. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you want, or leave a comment. And tell me what you think of all these creations. It is my life's pointless endeavor. Okay, bye.